daughter in Prague. I've dressed up as a Smurf. I've swapped lives with a German. Bought strip pens in France. I've covered teachers in sunscreen. Nearly drowned in some foam. I had a naked massage. Me and my mates had a laugh. I did.
24 years at the top end. $24
at the tap end.
Oh, it's nearly Christmas, and that means a special festive tap end. Well, they have been for about the last 2 weeks.
You wanted another festive one?
Well, I like to eke out the Christmas specials if I can.
But the problem is most, like Gavin and Stacey, it's just one Christmas special.
Yeah.
You've demanded I do about 4.
Okay, so let's enjoy this Christmas Eve, 24 years at the tap end. Whatever you're doing, whether you're driving around, maybe doing some last-minute Christmas shopping, maybe you're at home with the family, sit back, relax, and gather round the radio like they did in the 50s.
I'm going to take you to the 21st year at the tap end if you're keen.
I am, off of Home Alone, Macaulay Culkin.
Oh, good. I too have thought of a Christmas one. Good keen Wenceslas I shall be today.
Right,
good keen.
I am ready.
And I'm ready.
Ready.
"'Twas the last tap end before Christmas, and all over the house, not a creature was stirring, except for the massive rat that had been causing a nuisance in and around our kitchen since we had moved in.
Where's the rat?
So we had a massive rat at uni.
Oh.
It was our student house. And like a lot of the student houses, everyone was suffering with rats and slugs. I'd been on to our lettings agent for a while now, but since I started complaining about the problem, he was no longer available, for various excuses. Ironically, he was proving more difficult to get hold of than the rat. Do you know what I mean? It was bad enough having to deal with the rat, let alone having to get hold of the bloke to get hold of the rat.
You're the kind of person that never gets their deposit back.
What do you mean?
So was I, it's fine.
But spirits were not going to be dampened. It was a week before Christmas Eve, babe, in the drunk tank. I was in my 3rd year of uni, and today was one of the last days I'd spend with my uni housemates before everyone went their separate ways for Christmas. A bit last minute, our house had decided to do a Christmas dinner, and the girls organising also insisted that everyone got dressed up smart for the occasion, so I rummaged around my floor for my suit, and doing my best to iron out the creases with my hands, I went to smart mode. You know, I had that one suit, which was for everything.
You did?
Yeah, well, okay, I wasn't going to go into it, but you did rob my suit at one point, and it's never been returned.
You left it in my house, just the jacket. I can't find it now.
Well, you've given it to charity, haven't you?
Oh, no,
that's what's become very clear.
Possibly, yes.
It was weird seeing all my housemates, who I was used to seeing in their natural state, all dressed up and looking quite hot. In the whole time at uni, I don't think as a house we had ever really all just sat around and had a meal, so it was a really nice thing to do.
Or dressed up.
Yeah, it was kind of awkward, you know, where you're used to seeing the same people every day.
Yeah, you just live in your hoodie, don't you?
Yeah, and then this one, we're all in suits, and the girls all sort of wore dresses, and I don't know, you suddenly had a whole new respect for them. Because you sort of see them in a good... Do you know what I mean? Like
making it worse.
You're seeing them in a really good way. Yeah. But you know what a con it is, because you know what they're like when you see them. Like, nothing against them, of course. I just mean like
a con.
Well, you know what I mean. It's they, you know. We each did a little speech, which was a little emotional, and we played a few games. Everything was great until a game of Snog, Marry, Avoid happened, and people got a little bit honest. The problem is with these kind of games that, although fun, if you're honest, people don't really like it.
Oh no, what did you say?
Well, it's like we were doing Snog, Marry, Avoid, but between our housemates. And we had quite a big house, there was 8 or 9 of us. Now, if you answer that honestly, you're going to have to say you're going to avoid someone, or throw someone off a cliff, or whatever it is that the sort of negative option is. And unfortunately, that's got to be someone.
Well, you have to choose someone, don't you? Mm. So someone's always going to be upset.
And she was. She was not happy at all. But as I explained to her, it's just a game. And it's like the one that I said for marry, it's not that I actually want to marry her. It's just that was the only... I had to pick from 9 people.
Yeah, you're faced with making a very quick decision.
Mm. My housemate was being unreasonable in my opinion. She was in a mood with me, but like whenever this happened, a couple of hours of grovelling and she was back on side. It was important that she was today, as a load of my mates were coming from home for a night out in Southampton. Most of them had already broken up from uni and had been saying for a while that they wanted to visit, so tonight was the night. For me, it was a bit of a case of worlds colliding. Dosser, Chango, The Beast, Jono, Webbo, Hinton and Kentonar were in attendance for this one. And as always, before the night begins, they were very pleasant. I did, however, worry that this would change throughout the night.
It always does with your mates, doesn't it?
They're very pleasant to meet at the start. It's just as the night goes on that things go wrong, really. After a couple of drinks at my house, everyone headed out into town, making their way along Portswood High Street. My mates had established exactly who was single, and had already isolated their targets for the evening.
I like it's always with military precision.
I felt a bit like a shepherd, and spent a lot of my evening watching my flock by night. I'm trying to make this as Christmas as I can.
No, I see what you're doing. Carry on. Yeah.
It's like fourth festive one I've had to do.
It's going well.
Sir Dosser was impressing everyone in the pub with his token rap. He's got one rap, which he has always rolled out since we were 17. It's quite good, but it's only ever the same one. He will say he's a rapper. Sir Dosser will go, when people say, what do you do? He'll say, I'm Sir Dosser, I'm a rapper from Northwood. And then people say, naturally, it's a bit like when you're a comedian, someone will go, tell a joke.
Yeah.
So he's got this stock rap that he does.
How does it go? It's not bish bash bosh.
No, it's not. No. It goes like www.thismc. I've got to be careful with censorship here, but something a lot, and something about a woolly jumper as well. I wish I could have him here to show it. Maybe at some point I'll get him in and he can perform it. But he does this same thing to impress people. Kentonar was also being his normal blunt self. He's the one guy in our group that isn't afraid of talking to girls. He will happily walk straight up to one, but 9 times out of 10 it doesn't go well. However, he plays a statistics game, and I respect him for it. He's a confident guy. I think it comes with being French.
Is he French?
He is, yeah.
Oh.
He is French. That's why we call him Kentonar.
Oh, I see, right.
There was a bright light in the sky that night, and we all followed it. It led to jesters. My mates loved this place. They had decorated it all Christmassy. There was even Santa in the beer garden, giving presents to everyone. The night was Ramo, and it was so nice seeing all my mates getting on well with my housemates, although Kentonar was taking perhaps too much of an interest in one of my housemates' girlfriends. Which is never good, you know, but he just...
Plows on through, doesn't he?
French. But he's just got this certain je ne sais quoi about him,
buff,
which gives him this confidence that maybe...
Straight up to them.
I don't have.
Right.
That night, everyone danced and sung. And the last hour of that night, everyone piled onto the dance floor, arms around each other, singing Christmas songs. As the final part of the Pogues' Fairy Tale of New York faded away, we began to leave the club into the night. It had become apparent on leaving the club that my mate the Beast hadn't been seen for a while now. He wasn't answering his phone, and no one could remember him dancing at the end. He knew he had to meet us back at my house, so I trusted that he would be okay. We didn't actually see the Beast again that night. It was only at breakfast the next day that we established what happened. The Beast was kicked out of Jesters after venturing into the ladies' toilets, apparently searching for his lost phone.
Why would it have been in the ladies?
I don't know. We never really followed that up.
Right.
On leaving the club, his natural instinct was to head for shelter back at the house. Going the wrong way down the Portswood Road, he ended up in the town centre. Not remembering where the house was, he moved from hotel to hotel, trying to get a room.
God.
Every time he would be told there was no room in the inn. No one would take him in. It was Christmas, so everywhere was busy. Just when it looked like no one would take him in, he came across a small Staples down near the docks.
I know that one.
Taking shelter amongst a pile of boxes for warmth, he lay there under the stars in a Staples in Southampton.
Is that near Toys R Us?
Yeah.
That one, yeah.
Yes, it is. Back at the house, everyone else had returned from their night, stopping on the way for various late-night food. It was Christmas, so I went for a foot-long meatball with quadruple cheese. And I looked around. Kentonar and Chaz were asleep on the sofa. Dosser was lying on the living room floor with a 6-inch still in his hand. Jono was being sick. It'd been a great year, and these were the times that I would always look back on and cherish. I was proud of these boys, and I realised there and then, just as I dozed off, that this was it. It was nearly Christmas. And on that night, in a Staples car park in Southampton, Chango, the beast, lay there, resting his sweet head. Merry Christmas, everyone. I've boshed banter in Prague, I've dressed up as a Smurf, I've swapped lives with a German, bought strip pens in France, I've covered teachers in sunscreen, nearly drowned in some foam, I had a naked massage, me and my mates had a laugh, I did.
24 years at the top end. 24 years
at the tap end.
BBC Radio 1.
Scott Mills.